this time. I gotta say, this is my first experience with Mixer streaming from the Xbox One, and I'm not a fan. It has just been problems. It keeps kicking me off. It's not my network, it's not my system. I don't know. It's been weird. I wish they would go back to Twitch. But, that is a side note. That being said, let's get to the reason we're here. We are currently sitting at the opening screen for the Destiny 2 beta. I mean, we are finally here. We've made it. We've waited so long for this, and it has finally arrived. So at this point, this is just first and foremost a test to make sure that I know what kind of audio quality is coming through from both my game and my mic. Make sure it's even and good for when I do stream the game come Wednesday when it launches. And also to kind of give a little bit of a briefing, go over what we know so far. So what we do know is that if you have pre-ordered the game and you are on PlayStation 4, you are getting access the earliest as of the 18th, which is Tuesday, and that starts at 10 a.m. Pacific or 1 Eastern. Now, if you are on Xbox One, like myself, and you have pre-ordered and gotten your beta code for Xbox, you're looking at access on the 19th, which is same time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, just a day later from PlayStation. And then if you have not pre-ordered, you will be gaining access to the open beta starting on Friday the 21st, and the beta will come to a close on the 23rd, which is Sunday, and it will come to a close 9 p.m. Pacific, which is midnight Eastern time. So, to touch base on what we do know so far about this, is we're going to have access to the opening story mission, which is Homecoming. From what we've seen from E3 and other things that have been released so far, essentially Homecoming is you're at the tower and you're being attacked. Basically your home, your center point from the first game is being destroyed, and you have to try and defend it. So what it seems is when the official game releases, the storyline seems to be based off of rebuilding. You're basically being defeated. You lose everything, and you have to build back up what you've lost. You have to gather as a community, as a team, and come back and defeat your enemies. They are bringing back a lot of really, really cool story characters that were in the first game. That's probably the one thing I enjoyed most from the first game, is the personalities involved in these characters. You forgot you were playing a game if you're familiar with the first Destiny. Now, if you played the original before the expansions, most people didn't like it. Most people pushed it aside. But with the expansions, it became a whole new game. It brought in so much more story, so many improvements, so many different enemies and different allies. Things that came into play that while you were playing, you were laughing with the dialogue. You were getting involved in it. It was like watching a movie. It was so much more than just a game. So we are seeing that there is 2 PvP modes that are going to be included in this beta as well. So PvP is player versus player. They're called Crucible modes for Destiny. And the first one we're looking at is actually Countdown. This is brand new for Destiny. It's an attack and defend based gameplay. So essentially one team goes in and has to attack an objective, the other team goes in and has to defend that objective. The team that's victorious obviously wins. And then we're looking at the classic control mode as well, which is like capture the point, domination, whatever you're most familiar with. And those are both going to be included on 2 separate Crucible maps. One of which being Fellwinter Peak Set and Endless Vale. So this is going to kind of bring in a little bit of variation. It's going to bring in, a little bit of something new when you're playing this. It's not just going to be the same map, the same game mode. I've seen some betas come out that are just basic, and just play through one map with one game mode and you work some bugs and you just get hands-on. This is going to be a little bit more than that. There's also going to be a co-op strike, which is the inverted spire. Now this strike is going to be, for those of you not familiar with Destiny already, essentially you team up with your friends and you complete objectives. And you go to the end. It's a strike. It is what it is. So that's going to be included as well. I mean, we're seeing a few things that are coming in. I didn't expect the beta to hold this much content for us to be able to try out. So the biggest thing, the most exciting thing for me, is definitely the new subclasses. Okay, so our classes in Destiny are Warlock, Hunter, and Titan. So Hunter is definitely the most comfortable. That's like basically what they would suggest you start on. It's like if you're comfortable with first-person shooters, you're not really too familiar with Destiny, this is what you would be starting on to kind of test the game out. It's going to be the easiest to play. So, sorry, I have all of this up for me, all the information, so I can read it off, and I'm getting phone calls. Alright, so the subclass for Hunter is called Arc Strider. Now, Arc Strider looks to be like a fast-paced gameplay. Kind of zip around, dash, attack, that kind of thing. For Warlock, we are looking at Dawnblade, which I can't wait for. Dawnblade looks intense. It is what it sounds like. It's blade-based combat, and there's all new abilities with these. There's, all new elements of combat. And then for the Titan, we're looking at Sentinel. So essentially, you have your standard combat, which is Hunter. You have your Warlock, which is a little bit more like, powers, elements. And then you have your Titan, which is more heavy armor, heavy weapons. Now, we have seen a little bit of information on the social space, which is the farm. Now, this is going... Apparently, they're talking about 1 hour only access. And that's going to be on Sunday the 23rd, the final day of the beta. And that's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is, once again, 1 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be seeing a new emblem that's going to come out in the full game. You're only going to have access to that emblem if you beta test. So, I mean, if you like putting up that emblem, showing that you were a beta tester, kind of having those bragging rights, that's definitely a good benefit of jumping into this as well. So, things that we know are not going to be in the beta, obviously, is going to be clans. You're not going to have any sort of clan support. You're not going to have any sort of character progression within the beta. And you're not going to see progression beyond the beta into the full game. So basically what happens in the beta is going to stay in the beta. And it's just going to be, test this out, give it a shot, let us know what you think, and let us know if you find any bugs so you can fix them before it comes out. So they have talked about an alpha before the beta, but that was only closed access. It was internal for the Destiny development team. So this is the first time that anybody outside of the development team is going to be able to experience this game. So please come join me on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Let's get this started. Let's get this going. Because I'm pumped. I want to know your guys' opinions. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know where you sit with it. I want you to tell me what you want to see. I want you to suggest what you want me to do. Interact with me. Experience this with me firsthand. On that note, I will be leaving this. This will be up on YouTube. I will be seeing you guys Wednesday at 1 o'clock. B3TAFISH out.